Hello guys, good morning. Welcome back. Okay. Yesterday we had some small gaps, but nothing big. They got filled pretty quickly. We had a close below on USD CAD and SD CAD, but it was a gap, so it resulted in a fake out. Okay, let's see. Okay, so let's see. Gonna take a look at GCAD because I'm seeing something here. We had a lot of rejections at list level here. Okay, so let's see. Now it seems like this is a breakout candle and we need a retest maybe after this to enter some buys. But first we have to look if we have a bigger zone or something on the left. We had a small support created here. We have to look on the higher time frame if it matches up with the 1 hour. So if you look on the 4 hour, the next zone is all the way up here, which is around 32 pips. 4 hour closed pretty good, left no wick above. Already moved, but I think if it comes down, it should have a small rejection at least. Let's see. I'm gonna wait and see how it reacts. We had plenty of rejections. I think it's a good strong resistance maybe. Not that strong, but at least can catch small 10, 20 pips quickly here. We have to wait and see. Okay. How you decide when to close a runner? I saw on your IG post you had a 70 pip runner and also 100 pip runner. Just curious to see when you decide to close. It's up to you. I think it's up to you to decide when you want to close a runner, and it also depends on how far is the next zone. And you can start it, if it goes 50 pips, you move your stop at 20 pips. If it goes another 20 pips, you move your stop another 20 pips. So yeah, it just depends. If you have a very big zone coming up, you can close after it comes to that zone, because there's high chances that price gonna reject from that zone. And runners are just a bonus. They're just a bonus. Well, whenever you're pleased with it, you can close anytime. Okay, let's check some others. USD JPY is still consolidating. There's no trade here unless we close below this support or above this resistance. We are still waiting for a break here. Euro AUD, nothing much here. We had this big drop from last night. Gonna have to see later on what happens here. Euro USD. Euro USD, I think I'm gonna stay away maybe. Even though we had a small fake out here. Maybe if it comes lower, we can enter some buys to maybe we can see a push to this next resistance on the 4 hour. Even though Euro USD, let me see the daily. Yeah, daily close pretty strong, can continue down. See, we had this small break and retest here on the daily on Euro USD, and on Friday we had a big drop, so we're gonna have to be careful to see what's gonna happen here. And also we have a small zone here, and if we get rejected from this, there was no clear breakout to the upside here above this resistance. It's a very small close above. It's a bit risky here if we take the retest here. I have to see. Yeah, I wouldn't take this, because if this comes for retest on the 4 hour, that would mean that we're rejecting from another zone. And you know what happens when we get rejected from another zone? Chances of being a fake out are higher than usual. So we're gonna have to see. Yeah, let me take a look on the daily on G CAD. Yeah, G CAD looks like daily break and retest, so we have to be careful. We have to be careful. If all time frames don't match with each other, it's always more risky, and we have to be very careful. See, somebody's on EU sells from here. Okay, can't say it's too bad, but not a very good setup for me, because I would say we're coming from 4 hour zone. So for me, now once this goes all the way below this previous candle, that means it's gonna be very risky. And I'm just gonna leave Euro USD because I don't see anything good on it. Take a look at GJ. GJ, firstly, we have resistance here, and we got rejected from that resistance, so no break and retest here. Even though maybe this was the retest. But if you look left, what do we have here? We have support, and we got rejected from support. We got rejected from support on GJ. 4 hour close, very strong bullish close. So what we can do here is wait for this resistance to break. We can wait for this resistance to close. We can wait for a candle to close above this resistance, then a retest, and this should be an easy target for us after. See, we already got a rejection here, so that's a good sign. Let's see if we close above, then we'll look to for an entry maybe. And see what happens. For now, it's just a rejection, and on GCAD, we have a break here, but I'm gonna take that back because we are at daily resistance and it's too risky. So what we can do in this case is basically the same we did on Friday. I think it was Friday, yeah, on GCAD. Basically the same thing. Now, what can happen here, let me tell you. On Friday, we have basically the same thing. Price created a minor zone, and it was the same. It was a daily zone higher than this minor zone. Now, price pushed higher to make that daily retest, and what happened is that it got rejected. Now, what did we do? We waited for this minor zone to break to find an entry. Once it closed below, we waited for the retest, and we went for the daily wick fill and to fill this range to the downside. That's what I think we should do on GCAD. The safest way to trade GCAD at this position is this. So once we get rejected from this daily resistance, we wait for this minor zone to break. The best would be to break below this candle here. Would be a safe sell to the downside to continue more. Now that can take a bit of time, but once it happens, you know what happened last week. Yeah, so here it is. What did we do? We waited for this to break. This was a daily retest. It came back down, closed below. This was the breakout. This was the retest. We entered on the retest. We went for a daily wick fill, and look at the move. Now we closed below this level. Now this already came here, but it can still reject here from the wicks. So after this comes, closes below this previous resistance, now that acts like a support, we can enter on sells after the breakout. Gonna have to wait and see. Basically the same thing is happening again. AUD USD gave a fake out. If I was awake, would you have taken it? Let's take a look at AUD USD. Okay, so the breakout was this, I think, yeah. So this candle closed below the support that we were waiting for. Now the thing is, we didn't have a retest, it went straight down. And we went to another support here. Now price came all the way up, didn't reject, resulted in a fake out. Would I take this fake out? No, because it wasn't closed strong enough above in the zone. This is not enough strong close above back in the range, so I don't think I would take this. This is too small, but we would need at least 5-10 pips close above to take this fake out. Now let's go on a 4-hour. See, yeah, thing is we got rejected from this 4-hour zone here. I think that's why it got resulted in this was a result as a fake out after. Let me see, when did this happen? Also the breakout was on Friday. That's why when a retest comes a day or 2 days after, chances of being a fake out are higher. Because like I said before, in 1 day, 2 days, a lot of things can happen that can affect that pair. So that's what happened, I think, during the weekend. Then there was some reaction on, just like Euro AUD, it had the same move just to the downside. It opened with a gap, then went all the way to the opposite. So it's risky taking it when the break was on Friday, taking it on Monday, because a lot can happen during that time. GJ dropped a lot, 40 pips. This means G CAD dropped too. This is pretty good close. This can continue down easily. But I told you the plan. Now we just have to wait to execute it. So let's see. G CAD dropping. I think we're gonna have a very nice move on G CAD. If you watch my previous webinars, you see that I enter while the retest is happening. On the retest candle, I don't wait for it to reject first or something like that. Yeah, so if I would take this, I would enter right here while this candle is at support. But I explained this why we're not taking this retest here. And we'll see if we are right to think that this was the daily retest and this should close below, then continue down. Gonna have to wait and see. See if we have any other setups coming soon. We'll see. We have plenty of setups that can happen today or on the next hours or tomorrow, so we have plenty to do. See, thing is, New Zealand CAD can drop all the way down again. I don't see this going all the way up. Can't imagine this candle going all the way up below this resistance here. This can still reject and continue down. Gonna have to wait and see. See, the daily candles closed a little higher here. This is the level where daily candles closed. This can be a daily retest. Can still continue down. Now see, the thing is, I'm not really gonna look for buys here on USD CAD, for example, because whenever price gets rejected here, even though it closed back in the zone and comes back down, can still count it as a daily retest and reject still to the downside. So best way is to look for sells, to wait for this, to wait for the 1 hour or the 4 hour to come and close below again. Gonna have to wait and see. AUD USD. To take a look on the 4-hour. Now, as I've said before, every time you have a consolidation box, you're gonna have also a middle zone, and you can see clearly where the middle zone is on AUD USD. 4-hour is very clear. Now, what happens here is, as I said before, taking the fake out now is not a good idea. Why? Because we got rejected from this 4-hour support, and taking a buys here would be risky because we are getting rejected from another resistance. See, we're now in between zones. Best thing would be, since we got rejected from 4-hour support, is to wait for this thing right here, to wait for this resistance to break first, and then to go with momentum to the upside. I think that would be the best to happen here. But buys here would be pretty risky because we are getting rejected from resistance. Take a look at the daily. It's happening on the daily. Yeah, we'll have to see, because after a candle like this on the daily, of course you expect a drop, and we had the drop, but we got rejected actually, so I think we'll see what happens. Until now we don't have any confirmations or something like that. UJ's been so long still on this consolidation. Still waiting to see if we're gonna break or not. Taking too much time. UJ has created this middle zone too. But the thing is with UJ that it has a very small range. It's not a big range to trade in this middle consolidation. It's only 30 pips, and from the middle range it's only 15 pips, so not much you can do here. The best would be to wait for a breakout, either to the upside or downside. We'll have to see. Too much consolidation. Every time UJ is starting to do this, it's taking days to break. If you guys have any charts with analysis, send them. I'll take a look at them and tell you what to do differently, or if they're good or not. Only if you want to hear my opinion, of course. Let's see, G CAD still here. Got rejected a bit first. Okay. See, we had a small rejection. Just like I said, once it does hit this zone, it's gonna have at least a 10 pip rejection, which it was not exactly 10 pips, so around 7 8 pips, but still a rejection, which means this can be a good zone to base our trade on. So once it goes through this and closes below this candle, that would be great. Yeah, GPP CAD looks very nice. It is very nice. It's gonna be a classic setup. All we need is patience to wait for the breakout. When you switch on a daily, you see what I mean. See even these two candles here, how they went all the way down but still couldn't close it below, both closed above. No need to go too much further back. is enough. CGU. If you guys remember, on Friday we talked about this GU trade, and it happened after the streams on New York session. Students of my group called this, so it was pretty nice break and retest. It went all the way down, pretty good move to the downside. Yeah, 60 easy pips. Now on GU, let's take a look at the daily. Daily on GU left no wick. Very strong close, but you can see we got rejected from this support here on the daily on GU. So we'll see, because this can continue all the way down still a lot more, because see, we had this big consolidation here on GU. Now this was price tried to continue up after breaking this big range, but it couldn't. It was only a small move to the upside. Now you can see how the daily, this big candle came back and closed in the range. Now this was the retest, went all the way down. Another try here to continue up, couldn't continue up, closed back in the range, small retest, all the way down again. Now first time got rejected from this support, went all the way up and couldn't continue up, couldn't break this big resistance here. And after it came back down again, you can see on the left, or the zone I'm talking about. Now this candle closed below that. This was the retest on Friday and all the way down. Now we have another support here which needs to break in order to continue down and fill this daily range here. See, because once we close back in the range, it's starting just slowly breaking all these other zones inside this big consolidation. Now it's just a matter of time. We'll see if we manage to break this daily support here. It can easily continue to the next support here. So let's see. I called GU and GJ calls way back, I think on the beginning of the previous week, and it was a clear setup. I talked about this here. When price was at this candle, I explained this, how it can continue down and all the reasons. You can watch the previous webinars. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 days ago that were were streamed here on YouTube. You can watch them and see what happened here and how I saw GJ, uh, how good opportunity was to continue all the way down. See now on GJ, looks like we have a break and retest on the daily. The zone looks pretty good here. And let's go and jump on lower time frames, see what we have. Now, I said before we got rejected from resistance here, and now I see that was a daily break and retest too. So for us now there's no trade on GJ. We have small support here, but it's not enough. I think G CAD would be a lot better. It's a lot cleaner than GJ. I would rather take G CAD because it's a lot better charts. Euro AUD break and retest on the 4 hours. Someone is saying, I explained Euro AUD, and yeah, I'm gonna explain to you again. I said Euro AUD, there's no trade here. Too many fake outs, maybe. Can't say fake outs because we already respected the zone on the first break and retest that happened here, that we took on Friday. This was the breakout and this was the retest. We already got the move. Then we got rejected again, even though it made a big push inside the range, then got rejected after. Now let's see our options on EA. Let's clean this chart. So 4 hour zone is around here, and let's take a look on the 1 hour because it looks better. Yeah, so whatever happens here, the thing that we can do is I wouldn't look for sells here. Honestly, I wouldn't look, because if you go on the daily came all the way back down, and the gap that we had opened above this resistance here. Now, if you look these daily candles, they all had big rejections, right? Now this one can have another rejection too. Also, we have this previous zone. We have these candles that got rejected also, which means we have resistance to here. Now this candle opened above these previous candles, and this can still continue up. Now what I would do here is I would wait for 1 hour to give me some more confirmations here, and that would be a close above this, a retest, and continuation. I think that would be something I would do here, because we are hitting support now, and going up, there's a higher chance that this can be a fake out. So the best would be to wait for this level to break to the upside. It's a lot more safe than taking sells here. See, we have a lot of setups that can come after today or tomorrow, or I don't know how long they're gonna consolidate, but whenever they break, it's gonna be a very nice move. It's all a matter of time until we get a break on UJ. And once that happens, we're gonna see a very big move, I believe. And you can see last time that we broke out of this big consolidation. It was a very nice drop here. 60 pips drop to the downside after we broke out this consolidation. Now, whenever we have the breakout here, we can expect the same move, either to the upside or downside, doesn't matter. We'll see. The best for now, the best looks like it's G CAD for now. Just have to wait for this to close below. Yeah, the best would be to close below this previous candle, which would be also 10 pip breakout, and it would fill our requirements of a breakout. That I say at least 10 pips. I would be way more comfortable if price breaks below this than only closing around here. I wouldn't be very comfortable taking the trade if this candle only closes below here, like 5 pips, 4 pips. I would be very comfortable holding that. So we need to close below this candle. See, New Zealand CAD, this zone is getting respected a lot. See, this 1 hour candle closed back in the range, made the retest, went all the way up. So the only way to think about buys here is if we break this level here, this middle zone that New Zealand CAD has created in this big range. If we get a close above this, then we might see a push to the upside and fill this range. Only that. But buys here on a fake out wouldn't be a good idea because of the daily. I mean, this is big. 75 pips. It's a 30 pip range from this support to this middle zone. If we get a close above this level, we have a 45 pips range to fill after that. Let's see. Okay, G CAD, let's go. Another 10-15 pips would be great. So if we do close below, like I said, entry should be around here, 200 to 400. Yeah, so stop loss is going to be above the breakout candle, if this will be the breakout candle, and that would be a perfect setup. Now I just have to wait for a break of this, and after it will be epic. It's not going to be that easy to break this support because you can see a lot of rejections happened. So it can take some time. Gold, pretty big push to the upside on gold. On Friday, we respected this zone because previously we had this fake out here, but then we got a close above this candle here, made the retest, and the rest is history. All the way up. I think this candle, this fake out, I think it was from the news. Because this is a big move. It can't just happen like that without having some high impact news behind it. So you can see based on technicals when the breakout happened, a retest and continuation pretty easily. Okay, USD CAD, forgot to watch this. Man, so many consolidations happening right now on almost all pairs. Only GBP pairs moved more than the others, but USD pairs, a lot of consolidation. USD CAD's been messing around this range for a pretty long time. Almost 10 days. still in this range. I don't know, on USD CAD there's not much happening. We have this minor zone here. Maybe if price gets below this, we can enter some sells to continue down. Last time it happened, this level was respected. Don't look at this, because this happened after the news. We had news on CAD on Friday, and this move was after the news. But this was before the news. We had a breakout, the retest. It was going perfectly. Breakout, the retest. Then the news came on this candle 30 minutes after, because the news was at 2:30. Then you can see what happened after. Now we will see if we get a close above this level, a retest, and can have a nice 15-20 pips. It should fill the range also if we close this middle zone here, this minor zone, let's say, because the tops and the bottoms of the consolidation box are the major zones, and the middle zone inside this consolidation is the minor zone. So let's see what happens. USD CAD also, when it breaks, is going to be a big move. Can find you some examples like this one, for example. After break, we had this, not that big maybe, but yeah, 100 pips is big. 100 pips is big. Or let's say after this breakout, it was even a bigger move. 250 pips drop after the breakout of this consolidation box. And you can see for how many days? 26. Yeah, it took around a week or more to break this consolidation. After it broke below, you can see the breakout, the retest, and it happened 2 times. The retest was 2 times, so it may have been this could have been the 1 hour retest first, then this could have been the 4 hour retest, and all the way down. They take some time to break, but this is even bigger. And once we have the break here, it's going to be crazy move. G CAD is rejecting. It's not a good thing, because we have 15 minutes left for this candle close. This should have been by now below this candle if we would want to break out here. It's just not a good sign. If this turns bullish, then we might push another time to the upside. Take a look at Euro JPY. Think I didn't check that. We had a fake out on Euro JPY on Friday. Now let's take a look and see why did it happen. Just like I said before, got rejected from this resistance. There was some unusual moves on Friday. So you can see, first, whenever I say we need a breakout, I always say that also it shouldn't hit the next zone before the retest. We want a break just in the middle on the retest to continue to build the range. But first, it touched this resistance, then closed above this level, came for a retest, and it ended up closing back in the range, made a retest of the fake out, went all the way down. So you can see that like 90% of the time, the reason of a fake out is going to be just because price went and hit another zone, then came for a retest, and which results in a fake out most of the time. So this is number one reason of the fake outs. So what we can do here on Euro JPY, 1 hour doesn't make too much sense for me, except this level here. Yeah, maybe I would wait something like this, but I don't know if that's possible. Take a look at the daily, see what daily is saying. Yeah, EJs can still continue down. This zone that I'm waiting for a breakout is also a daily zone. You can look on the left. See? Rejections, rejections, rejections. A lot of rejections on this level. Yeah, so we have to wait for this to break first, because inside this small consolidation box, I don't think we should take anything here. Johnson, how can you write my name wrong? I only have 4 letters. SEAD. And you spell it like this, Saad. My name is Saad, not Seed or anything else, because everyone almost spells my name wrong. pretty simple, 4 letters. No, it's nothing. Just kidding. Just wanted to tell everybody because for you guys it's a bit hard to spell my name since I'm not from England or America, so it's a bit hard for other countries. EJ pushed all the way above these 2 candles on the left. Yeah, we might see a push above maybe even this level. Yeah, man. A lot of people called me seed. I mean, what is that? Seed. EU. You're looking for a break on EU. I spoke about EU a bit earlier. Let's see. Yeah. So about EU, I said we had a fake out on the 4-hour. And I said that we can have a retest to continue up, but the reason why we didn't take this is because we got rejected from this small resistance here. So we'll have to see. It's a bit messy, EU. A lot of zones in between. And would be a bit risky to trade it. CAD JPY. Benjamin, you can send a chart, please. Then I can see it. Would be great, guys, if you send a chart to review it. Because some pairs that you're asking me to watch are not pairs that I trade usually. But anyway, let's take a look. Maybe there's a setup. Too messy. CAD JPY, it's too messy. Looks like CAD JPY had a fake out setup too. We had a close above back in the range, made the retest and continuation. Now what can we do here? Let's take a look at the 4-hour. Wow, this was a perfect fake out. This was a perfect fake out. Now let's take a look on the left what we have. So looks like we can take a break and retest on this level maybe. CAD JPY is also on consolidation box. Basically every pair is consolidating. It's crazy. Last week a lot of consolidation. This week I hope it doesn't last for too long. Markets would be boring if we get too much consolidation all week. I'm from Kosovo. Is Euro GBP consolidating too? I guess, because all pairs are consolidating. Euro GBP is the pair that I never trade. I don't know if I told you that before, but I never trade Euro GBP. Last time I traded, I think it was, I don't know, 2 years maybe. Okay, let's clean this. Yeah, so what can happen here is you can have a breakout below this, a retest and consolidation and continuation. Sorry. Because based on previous times here, price rejected this zone and respected this very well. Now if it does respect this again, if this candle closes below here, then make the retest, should continue down and fill this range. Yeah, it looks pretty simple and clear, EJ. Euro GBP. Let me take a look at higher time frames now, so we can confirm that this is a good setup. Let me see. Okay, first is that we got rejected from a daily resistance. That can help us in this situation. We got rejected from daily. We go to the 4-hour. 4 hours doesn't tell me too much, but looks like the next support on the 4-hour is around 20 pips, which can be enough for us. And then we go to the 1 hour. We confirm that we have another zone coming here, Now if we do close, so we didn't close below. There's no breakout at this time. This candle closed above, but if we do close below, we can continue at this next support here on the 1 hour, which is only 10 pips. So I don't know. It's not a pair I trade, but this can happen. Got rejected from daily. 1 hour is that support. If we break this, we can continue to the next zone here. And if we break this zone here too, we can continue and fill this range. Now we will wait and see. There's no breakers. Watch the other pairs, what happened. Oh god, look at G CAD. It's an indecision candle. There's no breakout. This candle here closed just above this support. Now the next one is pushing down, and this is what I hate happening when just before closing it doesn't close below, then the next candle pushes right below support and continues for the next hour, and we get nothing because there's no chance of getting in. Bad luck. Bad luck on G CAD. UJ closed pretty strong above this middle zone on this big consolidation. So what I'm gonna do on UJ, I'm gonna take a trade on UJ. Let's get ready. I'm gonna take a trade on UJ. Okay, it just needs to come a little lower. See, UJ. So UJ should come lower, and we can enter here some buys. Let's see, I'm counting this as a break on the 1 hour and should give us a retest to continue up. Actually, I'm gonna enter a small position here and wait for price to come lower. It's gonna be my first entry, and if it comes lower, I'm gonna enter another one. So let's talk about stop loss here. Stop loss from entry, it's gonna be 5 pips. It's gonna be a 5 pip stop loss, and it's gonna be First target 15 pips, second target 36 pips. We will have to see. So the 4-hour doesn't really, tell us too much. The 4-hour. Taking this based on the 1-hour. It's not a classic break and retest, but on the 1-hour looks pretty good. And I'm using a very small stop loss, only 5 pips, so it's not that we are waiting here for too much. But let's see. Based on the 1-hour, looks pretty good. Should continue to fill that range. But just before going up, should come a little lower here. So let's see. I've made a lot of trades before like this, trading the middle of the consolidation, and the good thing is that gives you the chance to use a very tight stop loss, which is always good. And you can see here we are using 5 pip stop loss. Basically it's nothing. And if this does continue how we're expecting, the return is crazy good, because once it goes all the way here, you can have another breakout and the runners can go pretty far. So let's see. Let's see if it comes a little lower so I can enter the other half, because I only entered half at this point where it's now. See, like I said before, in this consolidation box, UJ, the range is pretty small. That's why you can use a very tight stop loss. See, there's no need using a 20 pip stop loss here, because that would be all the way here, 20 pips. So there's no need, because once price comes all the way down to where this previous breakout candle started, that's when the trade becomes not valid anymore. And now, as long as it stays above this, it can easily continue to the upside. And one more time, taking this based on the 1-hour. And just because I can use a very tight stop loss, I thought UJ is not in session. I don't understand what you're trying to say. UJ is gonna be slow, so be patient. Let's see what UJ is gonna give us. Wow, look at this. G CAD all the way up. See, there was no breakout. Closed above. This next candle tried to push down, couldn't. All the way up again. There's no breakout. USD CAD. That's pretty same setup. Got rejected again from this minor zone here. And Euro GBP is pushing down. We'll see what happens. I think I will not touch Euro GBP, like I said before. I've deleted it from my list long time ago. No plan on taking it again. Starting to trade it again. There are a few pairs that I've deleted from my list. And it's good to find when there's a problem with a pair. One is Euro GBP, another is GBP Swiss franc, USD Swiss franc, I don't know others, GBP NSD, all these. First, there are a lot of times where the spread is too big. Second, they made huge retracements. When they make the retest, using 20 pips not enough. And yeah, from my experience, it didn't go well with them. I had like 10 trades straight, 10 wins after wins, and every time a loss came, it came from the same pairs. So I just decided to delete them and not trade them anymore, because they were only pairs that caused us losses. You have to wait. Okay, so just so you know, if this comes a little lower, I will enter another position because I only entered half here. Was waiting for this to come lower so I can enter another half. And there's plenty of time. There's another 45 minutes. So plenty of time for this to continue in which direction has decided to go. For us needs to continue up based on our confirmation. So let's see. Okay, I'm back. I am back. Yeah, UJ came lower here to make that retest. It's like I said, and got rejected now. Didn't manage to enter the second position, by the way. Was not here, but it doesn't really matter. Okay, let's see. We have any other news? Any other setup? Okay, also let's check if we have any news. Today, nothing much. CAD later, a conference, but yeah, it looks like we're clear today from the news. No high impact news. Let's take a look at investing. Sometimes there's some news on that FOREX factor doesn't show, but let's take a look today. Yeah, no high impact news, as it seems. No high impact news. Euro GBP still in the same place. GBP CAD is pushing. I think besides the setup that we were waiting for on G CAD, there's not another setup I would look for. For buys, for example, I don't know, I wouldn't look for buys. This setup made a lot more sense to me now. Whatever else, something else that does GBP CAD would not be for me. Now UJ is pushing. Let's see. It's nothing. This is only a small move. Needs a lot more to please us. Wow, 3 pips move. Filling all this range, and it's only 10 pips. That's a shame. But it's going pretty nice. Come on, UJ. It's pushing really nice. Let's get these pips quickly. Okay, we have 6 pips. Pretty nice. Yeah. This is textbook trade. If it follows this range, then it should. Already pushing, it's pretty close. Yeah. So here what I'm gonna do here. I'm gonna move my stop at break even. Stops at break even. Don't forget to put your stop at break even. The reason is we have a lot of rejections at this point here. On the left you see this one, these candles, they got rejected from this zone. So the best is just move your stop, not taking any profits. You already have a 7 pip move. Now if this then would reject all the way down, that wouldn't be a good sign. That's why I'm moving my stop at break even. And we'll see. Or you can secure some at 7 pips. Since our stop was only 5 pips, so makes sense. If you want to close, but I'm not closing anything. I'm just moving my stop at break even to not let this go in drawdown, because once it gets rejected from this, you can see what happened when we got rejected from this zone. We had all these move to the downside. So now it looks pretty good to continue up and push through this. We'll see. But always protect your profits. Move your stop at break even. Whatever happens, happens. For now, we have a good push, and I think it's gonna continue even more. So now we have to be patient. Protect your profits and wait for it to see what happens. see if we can have another push through this. See, it's having a problems a bit. Already having a rejection. You get the signs immediately. That's why you protect your profits. Because when this would come all the way down to our entry, that would count as a rejection. Euro GBP dropped. USD CAD dropped too. G CAD pushing, which means GJ is gonna go up. Yeah, Euro GBP dropped. GJ. Yeah, we said about GJ, we need to close above this resistance, then a retest and continuation. And you can see previously, this support was formed, made a retest continuation. Now we had 2 rejections here today, and this looks like it's gonna close above. We'll have to see after. UJ, it's good. It's going nice. Gonna wait and see. Needs to push higher. EA went perfectly. What happened with EA? Yeah, it dropped. Yeah, like I said, it wasn't very. I wasn't comfortable with EA. Rejected again. Let's see, USD CAD. If USD CAD closes below this, I might consider some sells. Gonna have to wait and see. If it does close below, I'm gonna start to consider some sells. There's the time. Another 20 minutes left. What can happen with UJ now is that needs to close around here, this 1 hour, for the next candle to push, because if it stays like this, the next candle might create a wick and then continue, but that wick can stop us at break even. So we need this candle to close as higher as it could, because next candle might create a wick to continue up, which can stop us at break even, then go in our way, and that's what we don't like. Let's see, this needs to push another 5 pips and we'll secure some. We will let some run. Do I trade GU? Yes, I do. Let's take a look at GU. Yeah, like I said before, in GU too. Same thing as DJ. We need to close above this resistance, a retest and continuation. We need a close above if we want to trade here on GU. A lot of setups are coming, but our priority is with UJ for now. EJ also can be another trade for us. We break this small consolidation box like we said before. G CAD didn't come to break like we wanted to. Looks like the break and retest of this support worked better. Yeah, G CAD now coming at this daily. It's risky to take anything on G CAD for now. Take a look at Euro USD. If we do close above this level on Euro USD, there's a chance that can continue and fill this range to the upside. We have a 20 pip range to fill. We'll see. UJ needs to push higher if we want to survive and not get stopped at break even. Because if we get a close like this, the pullback on the next hour can take us out, which I think it's gonna happen based on my previous experience. GU looks good after the close, and yeah, we'll see. We'll see if we get a close on GU. We're gonna have a few breakouts on this hourly, I think. Would be better for GU to push higher, because we don't want an indecision candle here. We want at least 10 pips, maybe. Breakout. If it does close like this, I'm not gonna take it. This wouldn't be good enough as a breakout. See, that would be only 4 pips above. Wouldn't feel maybe very comfortable taking at the retest then. I'll have to see how it's gonna close. 10 pips would be the best. Just here, created this wick. Or even above 5 pips, 6, 7, 8, something like that would be a lot more comfortable. Less than 5 pips, never too comfortable taking that kind of breakout. Let's see, this kind of close would be perfect. See, I just hope UJ goes straight to the upside on the next candle and it doesn't make that pullback that I'm expecting. Maybe I'll look on the future to connect to trade from the trading view. You see this option that I have here, but I need to open an account on brokers that support trading view. There are some brokers that offer you that, and you can trade from the trading view here. You have all the tools that you need. It's a lot better doing analysis on trading view. There are a lot more options. See, you have to log in your broker first, but trading from trading view would be a lot better. Oh, Oanda, yeah. I said before Oanda offers that, but I tried it one time. That broker, I didn't like it that much. I think spreads were too big, and for scalping we need small spreads. What's the spread on UJ now? If you can tell me. Nice push on UJ. Let's keep it this way. Another push to fill this range. Then we can take some profits and leave a runner. See if we can break this next resistance after. Anyway, even if we have a break on GU, I'm not gonna take it because I'm already on UJ, so I don't open to try two trades at the same time. Unless I close UJ, I'm not going to take any other trades. We'll see. USD CAD looks like it's gonna close below this level, but not very convincing. Would like a better close. Maybe it needs to push lower. See, this candle was the perfect close. Left no wick, made a retest, went all the way down. If this candle does the same, we will be good. Looks like GU, it's gonna close pretty good. It's pushing. Let's see UJ what it's gonna do. Too close to our entry. Let's see. Big rejection. Okay, we do have a close now. Yeah, G CAD made the daily retest already, got rejected first. Now it's at resistance on the daily. Now I hope this candle doesn't come down because usually it makes a wick before continuation. Let's see, it should continue down, but I'm just afraid we get stopped at break even, then it goes up. That bad thing can happen. Now EJ, there's no breakout yet, it's still at resistance. GU, we have a breakout, made a small retrace here but didn't come lower. It's already making the move. Now if this does the move before making the retest, it wouldn't be good. Already made a 10 pip move, it makes a 20 pip move, then the retest, it's a bit risky. Now UJ, see it's rejecting, it's coming down. That's not a good thing. USD CAD. Now if we look at USD CAD, how many pips we have closed below this? It's only 3-4 pips. It's not convincing enough. Wouldn't feel very comfortable taking that. Now, even though we close below, would like a better close. Let's take a look at the 4 hour. Yeah, 4 hour. Maybe if we get also 4 hour breakout, I would feel a lot more comfortable taking it after. But let's see. In the meantime, maybe can drop a lot more and won't give us the chance to enter. See what I meant about UJ? This is what I meant. This is the pullback that I was talking about, and exactly happened that pullback. Let's see if we get close that break even. Hope not, but I hope this was the whole pullback that should do, and not if that comes lower. Not gonna be in this trade anymore because I would get stopped at break even. G CAD. Take a look at G CAD. Yeah, I said before, G CAD is a daily resistance. You can see it's right at daily resistance here. Taking sells here would be a bit risky because you go on the 1 hour, we already got rejected here first from the wicks, so would be pretty risky. I wouldn't take anything on G CAD. I said before, you can replay the stream and see what we were waiting for. It got rejected from daily first, and price was coming. We were waiting for this minor zone to break to continue down and fail this wick. Now it came all the way up, so that didn't happen. What we can possibly wait here is the same thing. Say the same thing would wait here. Even this resistance here on the 1 hour, which is also daily resistance, it didn't close above. Maybe if we see a break and retest of this zone, it can send us to this next resistance. But we'll see. For now, in that hour, doesn't have too much to say. See UJ, what's gonna do? Still should continue up. I just hope this pullback doesn't go lower than this. What time is in Kosovo now? It's 10 o'clock. 10 a.m. Yeah, we know about Geo, but let's see what happens. Let's see if it comes for a retest first. If I get stopped on UJ at break even, I'm gonna go then and see if I can enter GU. If it does come for a retest. The reason why I wouldn't enter UJ or I wouldn't hold is because we got rejected from resistance. That's the reason. It's pretty close. Just as I expected. Well, let's see. Even if we get stop at break even, there's still chances of taking this. Maybe when we break above this resistance or below, we'll see. It's been consolidating for a long time. Which is better setup, GU or GJ? Well, let's compare them, but they're the same. I don't know. The GJ is very close to this resistance here. Maybe G would be safer than GJ. Because maybe GJ has a lot, like a bigger range to come for retest. It's around 25 pips. It should drop 25 pips to make the retest, and that's pretty big. And it's also at resistance, so yeah, GJ is not on the list. GJ is better, even though even GU is at resistance, but it didn't really respect this zone that much. That's what I said. If it does the move before making the retest, I'm not gonna take it. That's what I said. And this is the reason, because it's coming to another zone that would count as a rejection. UJ broke. Yeah, stopped at break even too. Same. We'll see what happens now. We'll see. It was a rejection. There's no point of holding it. I wouldn't be comfortable holding UJ after it got rejected from this, because it almost came all the way up here. You can see all the rejections we had before. Same thing happened. So the best way was to protect the trade and set stops at break even. Thing is, it can still continue as long as it stays above this level. There's still chances of continuation to the upside, but wouldn't be any more comfortable waiting for that, because it's already made the first break and retest. This now is the second one, so there's no point holding this. Now all we can do is we can wait for close below, maybe then a retest to continue down. That's what we can do, but we'll see. It can still go down, UJ. Last night when it opened below the support. I thought it's going to continue, but came back in the range. Now we'll see. There's still chances of this to continue down, but like I said, we need to break this if we want to continue down, or if this does want to continue up, needs to stay above. Okay, AUD USD. Okay, you know what? We're gonna try this now. 1 hour break and retest of this zone. It's a pretty good zone here. Okay, entering Australian dollar, US dollar buys here. Okay, so the thing is, we have the same setup on AUD USD now. We have this big consolidation box here, and I'm taking this based on this middle zone here. Maybe it should come a little lower here to make that perfect retest, and just on as it happened on UJ. In this big consolidation box, we have this middle zone here too. You can see all the rejections before that happened here. And now we have this candle closed above this, and the retest happening should continue and fill the range to the upside. Exactly like UJ, but UJ had a smaller range and it got rejected from resistance. It got stopped at break even. So let's see now on AUD USD, the breakout, the retest happening. You are trading this middle zone on this big consolidation box. Let's see, this should continue up. The retest can come lower. Now, let's see the stop loss, how many pips. So from our entry, I'm going to put my stop just where the previous candle started, the breakout candle, which is 12 pips, 11 pips. Yeah, I think that should be enough. We have to keep our losses small as much as we can. Now we have to wait and see what happens. Currently on AUD USD buys. See, this can come a little lower. If it does, won't play that big. Well, it's a small stop loss, it's a small because there's no need for more. Just like I said on UJ, once it goes below this, then there's nothing you can expect more. And here, I think it's a good setup. Should continue up. We had a good close above. As long as it stays above, should continue. At least 10, 15 pips, maybe. Gonna wait and see. If it does come a little lower, I'll enter another position. EJ got rejected from resistance again. See, let me take a look on the 4 hour. Yeah, I just saw this. AUD USD is a sell. Somebody saying it's not a buy. Do you have confirmation that AUD USD is a sell? Because on the 1 hour I have a good confirmation. Thing is, a 4 hour is not matching with 1 hour, but 1 hour closed above the 4 hour resistance. 1 hour closed above 4 hour resistance. 4 hour is not closed yet, but it has pushed above this. And we're in this middle of consolidation. 1 hour has broken above, and I think it should continue. If you look previously what happened in this area, then I can expect this to push up. Trend is bearish. You're saying trend is bearish. Where do you see that bearish trend? Because all I see here is a bullish trend. It's a bullish trend. The trend hasn't changed yet. You're counting this as a bearish trend. This doesn't change anything. This is just a small pullback on the daily. This is the real trend here. You're on a bullish trend. This here was a bearish trend. This is still bullish. But you know, the thing is, we're not expecting a 100 pip move here. We're only want 10-20 pips from this. We're not expecting to change the trend with our trade. Our trade is just in and out from a zone to another zone. And I'm only risking 10 pips. That's not going to change anything. I got all the I took everything that's needed to take, so this can work out. It's a small 10 pip stop loss. We have a break and retest on 1 hour. 4 hour pushed also above. This 1 hour closed above the 4 hour. So this is a 1 hour and a 4 hour level. Now we can't always wait for the 4 hour. It's up to you if you want to wait for the 4 hour to close so you can be more comfortable. But even 1 hour is enough for me. Unless 4 hour is looking too risky, then you've seen me when I don't take a trade just because 4 hour doesn't match with 1 hour. I've done that before. But on this case, 1 hour has pushed above that level. Just that chances of this going up are higher than going down. That's what this is about. Once this goes bullish, needs to push a bit higher. At 10 pips, we can secure some, and we can let other positions run if we want. Look, I'm never worried that I'm gonna lose a trade. I'm never worried about that. I have zero doubts about this. I have no emotions about this. As long as you use risk, you never have to be worried, because one trade, it's not gonna change anything. One trade is not gonna make you rich, and one trade is not gonna make you broke. What makes you rich is consistency. You need to do the same thing for every day. And the thing that I use a small stop loss just makes it's a lot easier for me to make that back instead of using 50 pip stop loss. You know how hard it will be if I lose a 50 pip trade and then look for another 50 pip setup, for another setup that's going to give me 50 pips. That would be pretty hard because I've tried it. Finding another trade after losing 50 or 100 pips, it's too hard. First thing is that you lose confidence. And when you lose confidence, it's too hard. You're gonna have difficulties to find a trade, to enter a trade. You're gonna have fear of entering a trade, a lot of doubts, because what if you lose 2 trades in a row with 50 pip stop loss? And making 10 pips back or 20 pips is a lot more easy, because 10 pips, a 10 pip move, you can expect it in the worst day of the market. Even if it does range all day, you can at least expect a 20 pip move. It's just my view. It's just what I think, because there are a lot of other ways to make money on the market. I never judge anyone. Of course, I when I see someone losing, I say why they're not doing something to change the way they trade. Because if they're doing the same thing every day and they're losing every day or losing most of the time, they should realize that and see and go and back test and see what's going wrong, what can you do better, not just continue that way whatever happens, because you're not going anywhere. As I said, there are a lot of different strategies that you can use, but the basic thing is pretty much the same on every setup. If you trade break and retest like me, you're just waiting for a zone to break, then a retest to continue. If you use Fibonacci, you're going to have to wait for a break of the levels that they have. It's still a break and retest. If you trade trend lines, you're going to have to wait for a break of that trend line. You see, everything it's around break and retest. But there are people who also trade rejections or sell support by resistance, sell resistance by support. It's all different styles of trading. You just have to see which one works for you better and use that one. That's why backtesting exists. You can test any strategy you see out there. Whatever has more consistency, you choose it. Now this trade would be not valid only if we get a close below this support. But as long as it stays above, there's no point of closing. Of course, it can fail, but you have to look from the other perspective to think the positive thing about this. What are the chances of losing and what are the chances of winning? You have more confirmations that you're going to win this trade, then no need to think negative about this, to have negative thoughts. You need confidence. Which time frame? Here's the time frame, 1 hour. I only trade from 1 hour to 4 hour daily, no lower than that. Yes, I am of course in this trade. It breaks the support. Who's break? Who's breaking support? Which pair? UJ at support. GU at support. Not gonna take this. Not interested in GU. I said my reasons before. Focused on AUD USD now. Let's see if it gives us 10 pips at least. Just this candle needs to go bullish and it's over. It's been 35 minutes since the start of the candle. Needs to start to move. It only moved 5-6 pips, not enough. Needs to push another 5 pips. And then we will see. It's a good sign we're having rejections. GU looks like got rejected pretty fast. EJ is pushing. Let's see. Can have EJ for New York session maybe, even though it can happen the breakout now. Same, we can have this as the next trade after, of course, if I'll be done with AUD USD, but EJ can be the next trade here. Looks pretty good. It's pushing. We'll see if it's gonna break or not. Meanwhile, let's see if AUD USD is gonna push a lot more. It should actually should. I think it should at least continue to this next resistance here, because we have some rejections at this resistance. This should be the least target for AUD USD, at least. Then push to the next zone. Then we'll see if we get to break this big consolidation. We'll have to see. So another 20 minutes left for this candle. Plenty of time. Okay, starting to push. Perfect. Okay, I have 11 pips now. 11 pips. Let's see, needs to push more. I'm gonna secure half here and move my stop at break even. Gonna move my stop at break even. Stops at break even. Always protect your profits. I'm using a 1-to-1 risk reward, so close to 50%. Usually I close 80%, but I think this should continue more, so I'll just close 50% and move my stop loss for the 50% that were left. So we'll see. This needs to push higher. Fill this range basically, but maybe it can take some time, but I think it's very possible to do that. So waiting, and let's see. This was textbook setup, very nice. Just as I expected to be. Just like I said, I had No doubts about this. Let's see. Can happen here is next candle can push straight to the upside. So I have to wait for this to see. If this stays like at this moment, this candle closes bullish, then the next candle should push straight to the upside for another 10 pips at least. But we have to see. EJ is at resistance. GU got rejected. It respected this level. UJ also is respecting this level, so we'll see. Maybe UJ is gonna push also, but we'll see. But for this current trade, let's see if it's gonna continue to give us another 10 pips. Looks like USD CAD made the retest, now it's rejecting. Pretty good. So what we can do on USD CAD, since the breakout was not that strong, now instead we can wait for this candle to close. If it does close like this, then we'll have two confirmations, one that the breakout, and now the retest happened. So we just didn't take it because the breakout was weak, even though it worked out, made the retest. Now if this candle closes bearish, we can enter on the next candle. Maybe the next candle can make a small pullback when we can enter then after. and this should continue down after and fill this range. So we'll see. AUD USD still here. Okay, AUD USD still pushing. See how many pips we have. Still 11, 12 pips. Let's see. We only have a few minutes left till this candle closes, then we'll see what happens. Next one should push more higher. Okay, very nice. As long as it stays like this, next one should straight up, push straight up. It's pretty good close. If it does close like this. Looks like EJ is gonna close above 2. Let's see, we might have another trade here. Euro USD break-in resistance. Would you consider a retest on 1 hour? Let me take a look. Euro USD. Oh, we missed the retest. Totally forgot about Euro USD. Because of course I would take this. I think I said earlier that I'm waiting for this to break. Yeah, this was very nice. It's just like AUD USD, almost had the same setup. Breakout, retest, continuation. Yeah, it was good. I think you're saying about this one. If you're saying about this one, I wouldn't take this. I wouldn't take this. It's currently at 4-hour resistance. Euro USD. See, on the 4-hour you're at resistance. Yeah, maybe wait for this 4-hour resistance to break. Then you can have a nice move to the upside when it does. All the way up here. But now on the 1 hour there's no trade. You need to wait for this to break. Yeah, better wait for this 4-hour to break, because it can cause some problems. See what happens with AUD USD. Hope it doesn't come all the way down again. That would be boring. Needs to push up higher. Let's see. Anyway, it's very nice. It went pretty nice. Even if you get it close like this, still it's good. As long as it stays above, chances of going higher are always there. Now we have to wait. We have secured our profits. Now we need another push and we will be done after. We need more volatility last weekend it was a lot of consolidations, even though we had some great trades, but we had to wait a lot for these trades. Now this week looks like, I don't know, still we have to wait and see, but it's only Monday actually. It's only the start of the week. There's plenty of time. We can have bigger moves later on, tomorrow and later today maybe. But for now, there was a lot of consolidation in this session. Okay, AUD USD, very nice close. Pretty strong close. Let's see, it's pushing now. Like I said, next candle should push straight up. It's doing that. Come on, AUD USD. Just another push and we're done. Okay, perfect. This is perfect. See guys, it's pretty simple. When you do the same thing every day, there's no doubts about it. You see this happening every single day. You just gain that confidence because you know what the result's gonna be most of the time. Well, almost 15 pips. You guys can take some profits here too. Okay, here we have the push. Very nice. Let's go. This is what we expected. $17 pips. Okay, another 3 pips. And we are reaching 20 pips. There's still room to go. Like I said, we have a small resistance here. Once it goes above that, we're gonna have a nice push to the upside. It's a 40 pip range. It's gonna be great. You hold some runners, always. Yeah. G was the same. Okay, looks like pretty strong close on Euro USD. Now we'll see. Okay, USD CAD, like I said, closed bearish. Now this candle needs to push down, but I'm not entering anything because I am in AUD USD for now. I'm gonna wait for this first to be done, then I'll look for another entry. But for now, this is going great. Now a small push. Very nice. Textbook trade. Let's see. Take a look at EJ because we might have a breakout. Yeah. Let me see on the 1 hour. Yeah, we have a close above. Thing is, the close is not good enough. It's not strong enough. It's only 2-3 pips above. Now I don't know. This can push all the way up now. If we would have at least 6-7 pips close above this level, then would be great. But it only closed too low. It's a weak breakout. There's no trade here. USD CAD. Yeah, if anybody wants to take this, but it's already moved to the downside. I think it's a bit late now. Should have entered right when the candle started. Or maybe wait for this to come a little higher. Let me see the 4 hour. Yeah. Thing is now we have a 4 hour breakout too. We have a 4 hour breakout too. That's great. Now we can take the retest based on the 4 hour too. So we'll see. You guys keep an eye on USD CAD. I closed at 17 pips, guys, on AUD USD. Now I've just let a runner to go. I've only let 10% to run. Let's see if it goes higher. We'll see. The breakout on 4 hour on USD CAD, let me take a look. We have a 7 pip breakout. You know, it's not the best breakout, but on the 1 hour we have pretty good clean setup. So we'll see. AUD USD can still continue. The thing is, you see how it got rejected? We have a zone here. We need to break this if we want to continue higher. I think once it does break this, it's going to be another push. We'll see, we might break this big consolidation. It's been for too long here. It needs to break either side. Just have to wait and see. New Zealand JPY possible sell. Okay, let's take a look. Possible sell. What are you seeing here that I don't see? Because I don't see sells here. I don't know, maybe you're referring to this zone here. If that's true, I wouldn't take sells here, because you already had that first rejection. Now it's the second time coming. Yeah, I would stay away this. I don't see a good setup here. New Zealand CAD, let's see if we have a breakout here. USD CAD, oh no. Let's take a look. Okay, we have a break to the upside on New Zealand CAD. The one that I said before, if we get a close above this, then we can continue up. Looks like it's happening now. But I don't think I'm gonna take a trade on this pair. I better wait for the major pairs, for a separate setup on major pairs. Wouldn't touch this. USD Swiss franc. Now these pairs are not good for me. So what do you need to do here? Wait for a break of this consolidation box. Man, basically all the pairs are doing the same thing. They're all consolidating. It's just different levels. I think you're referring to this zone to sell it. I wouldn't do that. First thing is, I don't trust USD Swiss franc. I never had a good experience with it. I don't know how good it respects the levels. Didn't do much research on backtesting actually on USD Swiss franc, so I don't really trust it that much. The best would be to wait for a break of this whole consolidation. EJ buys. I just said about EJ. I don't know if you heard me or not. EJ. I said the breakout is weak. The breakout is weak. You have to wait for a better breakout. A stronger breakout. Because look at the price from support. You only have 4 pips. Not even 4 pips, 3 pips. Closed above. It's not enough. Of course, it can still continue up and respect it, but I wouldn't feel very comfortable taking that. We want a stronger break. If this would close around here to this wick, or if this candle closes like this around here, then I would consider taking the sells. But for now, it's too weak. It's too weak. I won't feel comfortable taking this. When I take a trade, I want to be fully sure in that setup, just like I was with AUD USD. GU respected this pretty good, but you see how it's stuck between these two ranges. It's rejecting support, it's rejecting resistance. Can't go up, can't go down. It's stuck between these two ranges, so you have to wait and see what happens here. Maybe if we get a close above, but even if it does close above this, I wouldn't trust it that much. I would still wait to see. I would like more consolidation here. Okay, I think I'm done for London session, guys. I think I'm done, and we'll see later. EJ needs to close stronger, at least 10 pips above. Just keep that in mind. Another setup, USD CAD also can, but I feel like USD CAD is a bit messy. Not gonna take USD CAD. UJ is still consolidating. There's no much happening on UJ2. Yeah, so we'll see. Nothing much for now. Just gonna wait maybe for New York session and see what happens. Anyway, guys, thank you all for participating. Gonna have to go now. Thank you all. Have a wonderful day. Use a good risk management. Take care. Don't forget to like this if this was helpful for you. And let's grow together. Thanks all. We catch a nice trade, but it was mostly consolidation, so couldn't take any more. Thank you all. See you. And for those that are in my group, we'll continue to talk on the group